thought you believe in indigenous systems. The indigenous systems is something we need to create. You spoke about sending our children to Caesar and them coming back as Romans. And I think this is why I'm asking you, because I identify you as a Caesar. And I'm saying the indigenous African systems that you have, the answers, because one of them, from what I'm hearing, is obviously the cut. Not eating after 4, which is interesting. Not eating 3 meals. That is capitalism and overconsumption. Detoxification, minimalism.
Both here and here. The detoxification must not just be physical.
How do we clean the mind? So in terms of the body, there's fasting, there's intermittent fasting. In terms of the mind, especially because of this gadget here, which has got so much stuff, how do we fast? Do we put it away? Do we go away? Do we do like the Indian gurus and maybe once a week, once a month, go be by yourself? I think in the Jewish community, I've heard some of the people on Saturdays, they switch off their phones and they're unavailable. So do we fast from human beings, from gadgets, from TV?
Do what works for you. But for me, sometimes I could put this thing away for a week or 2 weeks and walk away because I want to hear myself think.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear suggestions. I'm tired of, we wake up in the morning. And by the way, this whole thing of our young ladies also, I've never seen so much nyash in my life.
So much what?
Nyash in my life. I mean, I'm a whole bishop here. And I immediately open up my phone, whether it's in TikTok or Instagram, the first thing I see is all this.
Bams!
And I'm saying, guys, no.
An influx of palms.
But I can't stop. I can't stop them because we're in the same space, as it were. But and I would feel sometimes maybe I've consumed too much of this. So I would. There's a small little button on the side of your phone, if on the top. If you just press that button long enough, those nyash stop playing.
They disappear.
They just disappear for some time, and you put it somewhere there, and you go and get a True Pep phone for $150. Which you can just call your wife and your children and find out everything else is fine. So mental diet, that includes your TVs. You can still use your TVs and etc., but go for something natural. Go for natural stuff.
National Geographic, History Channel.
That home thing you're talking about.
Yes.
Learn about other people and etc. So mental rest, emotional rest, make emotional fasts. Make peace with other people. Where you have wronged, sit down one day and find out how many enemies do I have and what have I done to create those enemies, and intentionally take some time, send texts, pay debts. Even if you cannot pay some of those debts, write a message. I'm still aware that I owe you. My brother, my sister, be patient with me. I will sort. So that it also, because these things build up stress and tensions.
Correct.
In your system. And while you're there, you're already living on the edge. So mentally, you relax. Emotionally, you relax. Physically, you relax. Then only at that space can you spiritually now move into a space where you want to interact and align the body totally. And I think all religions, be it Christianity, be it Islam, the whole pilgrimage story to Mecca is not meant for anything else except just to focus the Muslim mind to the black stone and leave everything else behind and walk around as a group and do some chants around the group. For the moment, you are not yourself.
Yes.
You are a group of an army that is fighting the wars of Allah. Allah Akbar. We are all in one space. Christians, go to Rome, go to camp meetings, go to retreats, go to what? Trying to do the Buddhists, go to the mountains.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, the secret is they're trying to quieten the mind. But in the African space, our expression is different. It's the sound of the drum. It is the dance. It is the stomping of the ground. It is the sweat. And imagine when you are stomping on the ground, the stresses that you are letting go of your system. It's not just an exercise, but literally the whole body is beginning to get a vibration around where I am and where I am coming from. And in some certain cases, in the moments of those dances, your kundalinis begin to arise from the lower part into the space of the spirit. And other people have been able to translate, transform, transport themselves into spiritual realms during some of those dances. And the drum must be loud enough so that it blocks away all other patterns of thinking. There's no way you can think when the drum is playing. Boom, 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 boom. And the syncopation, you're trying to think, where is my rent, where is my what? And your mind is telling you, not now. Not now. And the minds of the community are channeled into a certain common space where in there, when you come back later, you're tired and you can rest and sleep and find that spiritual comfort that we find. So it's different ways.
What is that music? Amapiano? house, anything with a natural drum?
Again, let's be objective. It is young people of the modern day trying to translate the same song. It is the same music. But I've grown up now not to like too many words in my music.
Okay.
Because then I don't know what you are suggesting, if it is useful for me. So just give me the instruments and step away from the song. Allow me to think what I want. Don't recommend, hey, I want to F you up. Hey, hey, your mother is this. Hey, what? And mean, and then you're preaching at me again. I'm coming from the religious space. I think I've heard enough sermons to last me for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Now I want to sit down and think. So select music that allows you to think.
Yes.
That gives you space. Even if you love my piano, I would love to hear. Maybe I must come to back into your what do you call your music, hip hop stuff.
Yes.
And I would love to get into hip hop stuff and actually do a sing along hip hop where I just give you the instruments and I say write your own words. So let me hear you, because much of this music, it's me the artist, it's me the Jay-Z, it's me the Tupac, it's me the P. Diddy, telling you what I want to tell you and telling you about my experience, man. 50 cents, I'm telling you, man, I got 50 shots in my body, man. Jesus died only with 3 nails. So maybe we allow your mind to think. And I get discouraged these days. Maybe it's old age also. I sit around many circles and I hear young people fighting with me and say, no, I think. And I look at this young man and I say, oh, finally you think. Okay, tell me what you think. Then as they start talking, I can tell, okay, that's Isaac Newton.
Yes.
That is the church perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an Islamic quotation. No, that's an English William Shakespeare quotation. That's a Plato's thing. That's a Stoic thing. That's Aristotle. And then you say you think. Then after they've told me what they think, then I ask them, so what do you think? What do you think? Because you have not excluded other people from your space to think. So as I said in the last time, I've created the thinking tool, which then can be a navigation tool to allow you to say on the 4 sections that you have on the tool, how are they thinking in the West? How are they thinking in the North? How are they thinking in the East? How must we be thinking in the South? So that gives you a world compass. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying before you do anything, benchmark your thought patterns so that you're able to position yourself. We're in the South, so we have Ubuntu. They're in the North, they're in missionization. They're in the East, they're into spirituality. They are in the West, they're in individuality, me, myself, and I. So while you are thinking, okay, how do people marry here? How do people marry here? How do they marry here? How do they marry here? How do they dress here? How do they dress here? How do they dress here? Who is their God here? Who is their God here? Who is their God here? Who is their God? How come we as Africans here are being forced to do what is happening here and what is happening here? So how do they dress? So you're actually able to process quite a number of thoughts. And so by the time you say, I think, you might be shocked when someone says, I think, then I'm looking at you and I'm listening to a white man talking. And I think, and I'm hearing a Chinaman talking. And I'm hearing an American talking. And then within those 4, you break them into the 3 pieces each. Then East, you need 3. The past, the present, the future. The past, the present, and the future. The past, the present, and the future. Maybe you must actually design a T-shirt with that.
You must.
No, I'm already giving you an idea. That's inspiration now. It has just arrived now, so you better harvest it and catch it.
I'm stealing all of this for penalism.
Yes.
As I build penalism structures, I'm going to steal all of these forms of thoughts and indigenous African
systems. You don't have to steal them, my brother. There's no one.
Borrow them or
there's no one with monopoly over truth. There's no monopoly. My name is Marara, which means rubbish, which means manure. So take this manure and plant your seeds on it. You will harvest. I'm giving you ideas I'm giving you a free bag of manure.
Thank you.
Then you ask yourself, how are they doing it in the past? How are they doing it in the present? How are they doing it in the future? How are they? And so when you ask me a question, every question that you ask me, I actually have more than 49 questions that I can ask you back. And 49 possible answers that I can answer. Do I answer you from the East? Do I answer you from the North? Do I answer you from the West? Do I answer you from the South? Do I answer you from the past, from the present, from the future? Past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. And of all those, then I can ask who, when, where, why, and how, the interrogatives. It becomes a complex. You have 49 questions. That's infinite.